Question behavior is one of the most important aspects of your quiz. The first selection is about shuffling possible answers. If you select yes, then for multiple choice and matching questions, the answers will be shuffled each time the student takes the quiz, provided that it is also enabled in the question settings. There are numerous choices for how questions behave. You will need to first think about your purpose for giving the quiz. The default is deferred feedback, which means the student must complete the entire quiz before getting any feedback on how he or she did. The opposite of deferred feedback is immediate feedback, in which the student learns whether they got it right or wrong as soon as they answer the question. Let's look at the adaptive mode, which is used as a learning experience. In this mode, the student is allowed unlimited attempts with immediate feedback. However, you can set a penalty for incorrect responses. Adaptive mode, no penalties, is also available. Let's take a look at an adaptive quiz.
This is an example of an adaptive quiz. I want you to note that each question is worth 1 point. First, I'm going to get the answer wrong, and then I'm going to check. And it tells me it is incorrect. I get no points. It was worth 1 point. And I've got a penalty of 0.33. So a third of a point was taken off. Now I'm going to get the answer correct. I'm going to check. And it says correct. Marks for this submission, I got 1 out of 1. Accounting for previous tries, I only get 2/3 of a point. So you can see that I am penalized slightly for getting it wrong the first time. And each time that I submit, if I get it wrong, then more points are subtracted from my total.
Penalties are part of the question settings. The penalty can be different for each question. Now I want to jump down to the interactive mode with multiple tries. Interactive mode is very similar to adaptive. However, interactive mode will give hints to the student. Hints are added when the question is created, and there can also be penalties if desired. Let's take a look at an interactive quiz.
In this question, I'm asked who is the current president of the United States. First, I want to give an incorrect answer. So we're going to say Ronald Reagan and check. Well, it tells me that Ronald Reagan was our 40th president, but it gives me a hint. Our current president is a successful businessman. So I'm going to try again. And this time I'm going to say George W. Bush. Oh, Bush was our 43rd president. But down here it tells me his first name is Donald. All right. So I'm going to try again. And this time I'm going to put in Donald Trump and check. And now I got the answer correct. But notice over here that the question was worth 1 point. I only got 1/3 of a point. So you can see how the penalties come into play. Every time I get it wrong, I'm being deducted 1/3 of a point.
We have already looked at deferred feedback and immediate feedback, but now we need to talk about CBM, which stands for Certainty-Based Marking. The student must not only answer the question, but also indicate how confident they feel about the answer given. Certainty-based marking is available with deferred feedback and immediate feedback. Let's take a look.
This quiz is an immediate feedback with certainty-based marking. And you'll notice the certainty question, 1 for unsure, 2 for somewhere in between, and 3, I'm certain. So I'm first going to select the correct answer, and I'm going to say I'm unsure. And I'm going to check. The certainty-based marking is 1, and the weight is 1. Now let's go back and try it again. This time I'm going to mark an incorrect answer. And I'm going to say I'm certain. And check. Okay. I get the answer wrong. They tell me the correct answer. But if you notice, my certainty-based marking is -6, and the weight of the question is 1. So you can see how it's affecting the score. If I get it correct and I'm certain about it, then I get a very high score. This time I'm going to get it correct. Donald Trump, and I'm certain. Certainty-based marking score is 3, and the weight is 1. So you can see I get more points if I'm certain about my answer.